Hello, friends. Welcome to Nabla Online Maths. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve mapping questions in any objective test exam. And I have two examples on the board to demonstrate how to solve this type of questions within some seconds by using a shortcut. So let's go through the examples on the board for you to see how the shortcut works. So on the board, the first example is SSSCE 1995 question 16. And the question was, find the rule for this mapping. And you can see that the mapping is X maps to Y, 0 maps to 2, 1 maps to 5, 2 maps to 8, up to 5 maps to 17. So if you are to find your answer, you need to do some calculation before you come and choose one of the options. Some people normally use long methods, others use testing methods. Even though you get the answer, but you use 2 or more minutes before you can get the right answer. So today I'm giving you a shortcut that you can use 5 to 6 seconds to get your answer and go and shade. So now let's look at how the trick works. So now, but before we solve this one, this particular trick is going to base on linear mapping. You know, we have different forms of mapping. That is linear mapping, quadratic mapping, exponential mapping, or mixed mappings. But today, the example that I have on the board, all of them are linear mapping. So this trick works for linear mappings. So now, if you take this particular mapping, the top value, that is the x values, we call them the domain values. Then the down one, we call it, that is y values, we call them the codomain values. So if you are to find the rule for this particular mapping, look at what you do. First, find the difference of the domain values by taking the right value minus the left value. So let me see my domain difference. My domain difference will be, I'll take the right value here minus the left value. So 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. So you see at the top, the difference is 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'll write my 1 down. Then I'll come to the down part, that is the codomain side. Take the difference 2. So let me use C to represent codomain. Then I'll take 5 minus 2, 3. 8 minus 5, 3. 11 minus 8, 3. So you see at that place too, the difference is 3, 3. So now look at how you get your answer by using these numbers. You start writing your answer this way. Y is equal to, then you take the codomain value and divide by the domain value. So in this case, we'll take 3 divided by 1. And 3 divided by 1 is 3. Then you write your 3 down and attach x like this. So immediately you do this, now go and pick one of these values, I mean the x values, that is the one of the domain values. Come and put it here. So if I decide to pick 1 and put it there, 3 times 1 is 3. But below 1, what is there? 5. But this one is giving me 3 if I substitute 1. So what I'll do is that I will now consider what value will I add or subtract from the value that I'm getting before I can get the value below. So if I put 1 time and I'm multiplying by 3 and it's 3, then it means that I have to add 2 to this one so that this one will give me 5. So this is the rule for the mapping for this particular question. You can test and see if I decide to pick 4. If I put 4 here, 3 times 4, 12. Then 12 plus 2, 14. And you can see that 14 is lying down there. If I pick 5, 5 times 3, 15. 15 plus this 2, 17. So you can see that 17 is lying down there. If I use 0, 0 times 3 is 0 plus 2. So you see that 2 is there. So this is how we find the rule for linear mapping. So for this particular question, the answer is A. So if you take 1995 core mathematics question 16, you see that the answer is this particular one. So you don't need to do much working. What you do is that just find your codomain value. Find your domain value. Take the codomain value, divide by the domain value. After that, you multiply by x, and then determine are you adding or you are subtracting a particular value from what you are getting. Then that will give you the rule for the mapping. And now, in simple terms, dividing codomain value by the domain value is the same thing as finding the gradient or the slope of the linear mapping. So let's go to this particular question too. And this question is SSSCE 1993 question 6. And this one too, you were asked to find the rule of this particular mapping. And you can see that this one, I have X maps to Y, 0 maps to 5, 2 maps to 3, 4 maps to 1, 6 maps to -1, 8 maps to -3. So the same procedure. First, find the difference of the domain values. So I'll write my domain this way. 2 minus 0 is 2, 4 minus 2, 2, 6 minus 4, 2, 8 minus 6, 2. So the difference for the domain is 2. For domain, I'll take 3 minus 5, that will be -2. 1 minus 3, -2. -1 minus 1, -2. -3 minus -1, -2. So this place, the difference is -2 throughout. So I will now use these things to determine my rule. So what I'll do is I'll start by writing y is equal to -2 divided by 2 is -1. Then I will use this -1 and multiply by x, like this. Then after that, I'll pick one of these values. Let me just pick 0. If I put 0 here, 0 times -1 is 0. But what is below 0 is 5. So I'll say I have to add 5 to that. So to write it clearly, I will now have y to be equal to -1 times x is -x plus 5. So this is the rule for the mapping. Now, if I use 6, let's use 6 and you see 6 minus 6 here, it will not be -6 plus 1, that will be -1. If I decide to use 2, it will now be -2 plus 5, and -2 plus 5 is 3. And you can see that below 2, we have 3. So this is the rule for the mapping. So let's check. So you can see that what we have here, this format is not there. So we can rewrite it by saying that y is equal to 5 minus x. I'm just changing their positions. Minus x plus 5 is the same time 5 minus x. So we can now cross check. Which one is that? That is this particular one. So this question, the answer is B. So this is how we answer mapping questions in the objectives test. There is a formula that you use to solve this type of questions in the section B. So that is the theory side. We'll get time and solve the theory aspect to how you present your work for your marks. Thank you for watching this video. If this is your first time of watching, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nabla Online Maths, so that you'll be notified anytime a new video is being uploaded. Thank you once again and have a nice day. Bye-bye.